So, Passpartout, subtitled The Starving Artist, is a game about a starving artist named Passpartout. I mean, what can I say, it's a descriptive title. You make paintings from your garage, or wherever this is supposed to be, I can't honestly tell. I think it's his art studio, but if that's the case, why not just paint in your house? Unless he sold his house to buy paint, in which case I think he got a pretty good deal. Because I mean, have you seen how expensive some paint can go for? And this guy's got unlimited paint and canvases. This game did fairly well. A lot of attention was brought on by YouTube Let's Players, but the attention died down as time's gone on. Is it a fun business tycoon game, or is it a pretentious art piece? Let's find out. So for the first time in a long while, I have very little to say regarding gameplay and design. The gameplay is very simple. You click on an easel, and then the color you want to paint with. Then you just drag as you draw. So you may be thinking that that's pretty hard to mess up. Well, it's nearly impossible to make anything even decent due to the lack of a wide color palette and small-sized brushes. What's even harder is to make something decent without a drawing tablet. This game is nowhere near as engaging without one, and if you're considering getting this game, you're going to want a drawing tablet as well. The game is largely based on your own individual drawing ability, so the mouse, or god forbid a trackpad, would make it very hard for the drawing ability to come through. Your goal is to sell your artwork to the public so that you can pay your bills and survive, and hopefully become the next Da Vinci. Once you finish your masterpiece, you go up to the table, name it, and wait for people to come by. Somebody will, and if they like it, they'll pay money for it. Repeat this for a while, and a critic will come by, give you a rating, and you progress. The game looks nice, at the very least. It has some very nice level design. Granted, you can only walk around in a very small space, and the AI's pathfinding makes very little sense, like, come on George, why are you walking in a corner like that? But it makes sense a game about art would have quality visuals. The music of the game is also very good. Back to the gameplay, I would work on my Pickle Rick series of paintings, but then I got bored. Maybe I was just getting bored because my entire collection was a shrine to Pickle Rick, so I would change what I'm drawing to something else. It would sell for a lot, but I was still bored. I don't know about you, but for me, drawing with no particular goal in mind gets kind of boring. So I stopped. I got past Act 1, and then I stopped. I got the gist of the game. You get different tools as you progress, but it's just the change of scenery at the end of the day. Passpartout offers quite a bit given the visuals, the creativity, the music, and everything in between, but in the end, it'll just get boring. Passpartout is not a bad game, but it does get incredibly dull due to the repetitive process. I mean, the game doesn't really feel like one you should sit down and beat in one sitting, because it's more fun after taking breaks. Its controls also don't help. I have seen people do some really impressive stuff with just a mouse, but I'm not those people. I guess that's not really the game's fault, but I feel a majority of the players aren't professional digital artists, and if they were, they'd probably have the drawing tablet anyways. I'm going to put Passpartout directly in between 60 Seconds and Plague Inc. Evolved. 60 Seconds similarly had the dullness effect, but I think Passpartout, by offering the ability to make your own paintings, albeit in an incredibly limited way, gives it a slightly better push for replayability. While Plague Inc. has less room for your own personal input, it gives you a lot more in terms of replayability and challenge. Passpartout: The Starving Artist is a fairly standard art-based game. The actual drawing portion of the game is limited, but that's to be expected in an art game. Considering this is the first type of this genre of games I've covered, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. The other portions of the game are good, but the gameplay just gets dull. If you have this game, pop in every couple of months and give it a whirl. If you're looking to buy a copy, get a drawing tablet first, or get used to some really frustrating controls. Earlier this year, they made a prototype for a sequel to Passpartout where you're a one-man band. It actually looks pretty fun, from what I've seen. Hopefully it doesn't fall into the same pitfalls that this game did. If they could include some way you can upgrade yourself instead of just waiting for some arbitrary moment, and circumstances where you can actually lose, the game would be a lot better. Because Passpartout: The Starving Artist had those problems where you would have to wait for some random moment to get a new tool, or the critic to come by, or anything. And it was fairly hard to lose once you got started. At least this game is cheaper than the paintings, like, geez, the mediocre Joker Stairs painting selling for $1,000. I don't know. You wouldn't get it. Thank you so much for watching this episode and Steam review in 2019. I know the upload schedule was very weird this year, with several month gaps in between some and days in between others, Hopefully I can get that under control for 2020 and the future beyond that. 2020 is looking bright, so once again, thanks for watching, all support is appreciated, and I will see you next time. Bye!